I'm so excited. I can't contain myself. I'm just so excited. Hey everyone, it's Asiyah. Welcome back to my channel, Asiyah's Plant Life. So as you can see, today we are talking about snake plants. I have to tell you guys, I'm so excited to share this plant with you. I've been a fan, oh my God, I've been a fan of this plant for longer than I can even remember. And there's so many reasons why. Not only is this plant super easy to grow, super easy to propagate, found everywhere, it's air purifying, and they're fairly inexpensive. What more reason do you need to bring this plant into your home? All right, everyone, so we're in my kitchen now. I have 3 snake plants in my kitchen by this window, and as I've repeated time and time again in my videos, my house does not get a lot of bright light, and this is one of the darker rooms in my home throughout the day. Or I should say this particular part of the room is one of the darkest parts throughout the day. So these are 3 of my snake plants, also called Sansevieria. And you probably noticed that one looks a little bit different. Now this smaller one here that's kind of blooming from the center with the golden edges, this is called a Sansevieria Trafasciata, nicknamed the golden Hahnii. This one is distinct because it has the golden edges and the light green inner leaves. With all Sansevierias, snake plants, mother-in-law's tongue, whatever name you choose to call them or find them by, the care is pretty much spot on. They do not need a lot of care, even though there are different varieties. These 2 here, you know, I bought them from the same nursery. They were right next to each other. They are both Sansevieria Trafasciata, the most common ones that you find. However, as you can see, as they grow, they're starting to look little bit different. This particular one here seems to be fading, and that could be due to the lighting situation here. While these plants do well in low light, with any other plant, the more light that they get, the more detail and variegation and striations you will see in the leaves. So while they are the same plant, they are starting to look somewhat different. And something else that you might notice, particularly with a lot of my plants that are by windows, they tend to pull towards the light. So if you look at this one, you'll notice that, let's move this out the way. You'll notice that this one is not quite centered in the plant. Now, when I repotted it, it was, but it is tending to pull towards the light of the window, as most plants will. They want light, and when they're not getting the exact amount that they need, they will pull towards the direction where they find the most light. So when you have plants like this, or any other plant that you notice is starting to lean because they're pulling towards the light, make sure that you just rotate your pots like such, so that all sides of the plant are getting as much light as possible, and so that you don't have a plant that's eventually going to become top heavy and topple over. Now with these plants and all my others, I water them probably once every 2 weeks in the cooler months, so fall and winter. And then in my summer months, I'll water them once every 8 to 10 days. I give them a spritz of water every so often. I couldn't even tell you exactly how many days between spritzing. Whenever I feel like they need a little bit of a drink, a little bit of moisture, humidity on the leaves, I'll give them a spritz, and they've been doing well. These plants have been sitting here. This plant has been here for about 2 years. And it was very small when I got it, and it's doing very well now. The larger plants have been here for about a year, and I just took them out of their nursery pot and placed them into these ceramic pots, which do have drainage holes, earlier this year in the summer. This beauty here was the first Sansevieria that I brought into this home when I purchased this home nearly 4 years ago. And as you can see, I still have it in its nursery pot. One thing about Sansevierias is that they like to be root bound. So they really like for their roots to be tightly wound in the pot. And that's the way that we know it is ready for repotting. And because this one has not started Charlotte, did you guys hear that? Has not started to show its roots yet. It seems to be very happy in this pot. You know, I'm not the plant parent that rushes to repot my plants. I like to bring them into my home, see how they thrive and grow, let them get acclimated, and let them tell me when they're ready for a new pot. Sometimes plants can react badly to being repotted too soon or too often. And if the nursery pot is sturdy enough and the plant's roots have room to grow, then I say leave it in the pot until the plant tells you that it is ready. Now, this snake plant or mother-in-law's tongue is, again, the most common, similar to the one that you saw in my kitchen. It's just further along in its growth, of course, but this is a Sansevieria Trafasciata, the most common. I believe I paid $10 for this plant at my local Walmart garden center about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's grown very, very nicely. It was just kind of small and stout when I've got it, and it's continued to grow. As you can see, leaves are now resting up against the wall because it's growing and it's becoming kind of heavy. So even though the roots have not told me yet that this plant is ready for another pot, it might be ready for another pot come spring because the leaves are starting to become heavy and the nursery pot might not be able to bear the weight of the leaves as they continue to grow. Now, I've showed you this area in my last video. I think I showed you where I had the pothos there, but this is along an inner wall, so it doesn't get any direct light. There is some light coming in, filtered light coming in from my back door that leads to my deck, and then there's also very limited amounts of light that come in from the front room. But this plant has done very well here. And again, if you're looking for a low light plant that's low maintenance, you want to go ahead and grab a snake plant. All right, everyone. So this is a Sansevieria Gracilis, which is very different than the other snake plants that I've just shown you. The leaves on this one are very almost cylindrical, and they're very, very hard and firm. To me, they almost remind me of aloe, or not aloe, yes, aloe, how the aloe plant feels. It's kind of firm and buoyant, just like the aloe plant. I've had this one maybe 7 or 8 months or so. I have not seen much growth from this one yet. It is in a corner of my bedroom on the nightstand. Don't mind all the mess over there, guys. On the nightstand. And again, I've watered this one now that we're into the cooler months. I'm watering this one probably about once every 2 weeks. When it was warmer, I was giving it a drink about every 7 to 8 days or so. And it seems to be doing very, very well. This particular plant, and I'm not quite sure if the other Sansevierias flower as well, but this particular plant, from what I know about it, it blooms with white flowers in the late fall. Now, of course, in order for any plant to bloom, it has to have the optimal temperature, water, lighting. So I don't know if this one will bloom, but I will definitely keep you guys posted if it does bloom, because I would love to see the beautiful white flowers that this plant produces. This is another of my Sansevieria Trafasciatas. This is another Walmart. No, I think this one actually came from Lowe's about 1.5 years ago. It's in my bedroom, which is in this window, which is a north-facing window, and it's growing up nice and tall and doing well. That one leaf there was kind of leaning like that when I brought it home, and it continues to lean, so I just leave it alone. But I think that that's probably going to be the leaf that I cut to propagate and make a new plant with. This one is also in its nursery pot. I have yet to repot it. And what is this? Look at that. My daughter's little, you guys see that? Little cupcake here. So that shows you that she plays with everything and in everything. But it's still in this nursery pot. When I repot the other Trafasciata that I showed you on the inner wall of my living room, I'll probably go ahead and repot this one as well. All right, guys, so this one is over my desk in my bedroom. You know, I just grabbed this one from Aldi's about 3 weeks ago. It was $5. It came in this cute little pot here. Let's go ahead and take it down. It came in this cute little pot. And let's move some of this stuff out of your way. I'm showing you all my mess here, but it's the nursery pot is inside. I don't know if you guys can actually see this, but and I'm having a hard time grabbing it. Okay, there we go. See, the nursery pot is inside of this copper pot. I just need to drill a couple of drainage holes into the bottom of this pot and repot it, and it will do just fine. That's one thing about your Sansevierias. They do like to have great drainage. So this is not a plant that I would recommend be placed into a pot without drainage holes, as I've done with some of my other plants like pothos. This one definitely likes drainage. So make sure that whatever pot that you're placing this in has adequate drainage, and that you allow the plant to drain completely before putting it back on a shelf or a plant stand or anywhere where water can pool and accumulate, because that will over time lead to root rot. But I think it just looks beautiful in that copper pot or my little copper organizer that I really have also just put up about 3 weeks ago, and really haven't had much time to do much else with it because I've just been so busy. But eventually that'll be all nice and decorated up. But there you go, that one, I love it. And this one, this one is actually, this is also a Trafasciata, but this one, as you can see, has the golden edges on the leaves right here. So this is a different variation of the Trafasciata because of the golden edges and the deep green in the center. This is a little bit different than this one that you see right over here. All right, this is in my master bathroom, right by the window here. This is another big box garden center. I'm not quite sure if it was Walmart or Lowe's, but it cost $13. You can see there. It cost $13, which is not bad for a plant of this size. I bought this one earlier this year in the winter, so it hasn't been quite a year yet. It hasn't experienced much growth throughout the spring and the summer, but it's a very good size for $13, which is why I recommend that you not only shop at your big box garden centers, but that you also grab snake plants, because they're such a common plant that they're not too costly or hard, difficult to find. But this is another Trafasciata, and it's just sitting here beautifully in this bathroom. It does get pretty good light from this window, which is an east facing window, so it gets lots of morning light like it is right now. You see my little fern over there? Say hey. But it gets pretty good light, and it's been doing very well. This one is not telling me yet that it's ready for repotting, so I'm going to leave it in the nursery pot until it gets to a point where it needs to be repotted. Alrighty guys, these are the last two in my collection, and these are both Sansevierias, of course, but these are the golden Hahniis. This is the other one that was in the kitchen that I told you I recently moved to the front room, and since putting it in here, look how beautiful it's starting to grow. And that's one of the things I love about most Sansevierias, is that they grow from the center. They kind of just bloom and grow that way, which is very beautiful. And this little one right here, this actually, oh, can you guys see that? Let's see, let's put it up against the wall here. There we go. This one was actually propagated on its own from its mother right there. It propagated on its own. I was just watering the plant one day and lifted up one of the leaves, and this little baby, which was a little smaller than this, was just sitting there so peacefully and so daintily. So I went ahead and pulled it out and popped it into this little, what is this, a 4-inch pot? Not even, 3.5-inch pot maybe, and it's been doing very well. So I have it sitting here right next to its mother, and as with all my others, they are watered about once a week or every 8 days in the warmer months, and in the winter months I give them a big drink of water about every 2 weeks or so. Hey everyone, so that's it. We've come to the end of this video. The tour is over. I hope that you enjoyed taking this tour with me and that I gave you some tips and Sansevieria care pointers along the way. I really enjoyed making this video for you. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss videos, which I drop every Wednesday and Saturday. So there's plenty of content out there for you. If you have a question or something about a particular plant that you'd like to know, please be sure to leave it in the comments so that I can address it there or even make a video about it if it's something that warrants a video. I appreciate you guys. And because I appreciate you so much, I've created a free 5-step guide to growing your plant collection easily and affordably. Just head on over to my website, asiyahsplantlife.com, and it's there for you to download for free as my gift to you for riding with me and being along this plant-loving journey. So anyway, guys, I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I will see you for sure in my next video. Peace.